Okay, today we're going to be doing solid geometry for grade 10s. So basically what I've drawn here is a prism. We have been given an auxiliary view and a front view. I will go over the measurements with you guys quickly so that you can draw this in on a page, whichever page you guys like, just to give you guys a little bit of extra practice. So basically you've been given the complete front view. You need to draw the sectional top view and the sectional left view. So in the last video I did with you guys, I did not do sectioning, and so today we're going to be doing sectioning for solid geometry. Okay, so first things first, the angles that I use to get all of these. So here I used an angle of 60 degrees, then I measured 10, I made another line, I measured 10, I made another line. Okay, then what I did here was I took a measurement of 40. You can see I drew the 40 line, and then basically what I did was I took my compass with the measurement of 40 on it, and I basically just made two bows. You can see them over here, using both parts of the line to make a triangle. I connected it, and then I basically drew halfway lines. So here I put a line halfway. I measured 20 on this line here, and I made a halfway line, and I basically connected it and then put a point T. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and T. I might just make these a little bit darker for you guys to see. Okay, then here I measured 70. Okay, drew a line up, and then drew obviously these to the edge of the auxiliary view, so you can see all of these are in line like that. I hope this is making sense. If it's not, let me know and I'll draw it with you next time, but I think this is making sense. And then at this line here I measured 10 and I made a line, and then on this line here I measured, I think it's 18, yeah, 18, and I made a line, and then I made our sectional line. Okay, so just so that you guys can see the sectional line, I'm just going to once again draw it in like with highlighters so that you guys can see. Okay, so now let's start. We have been given, oh wait, let's label. So we've been given our prism. We've labeled this over here. Labeling always helps us to see which points we're working on. So you see we've got point T, point 2, point 1, and point 3. So now what we're going to do, let's use a larger ruler for this. We're going to draw a line going down like that. Going to measure 10 and 10 again. We are going to draw a line going down and a line going down once again. And then what we're going to do is at the bottom here by 3, we're going to take our ruler, draw a line going across. We're going to measure 10 and 10 again. So we've got 10 and then 10 again. Going to draw a line going across and a line going across. Okay, once you've got all of those lines, you're going to take your 40 degree set square, 45 degrees, sorry, and you're going to draw a line from the middle square through down to there. Now the reason why we do this is because when we do solid geometry, we always work in first orthographic projection, okay, which means that if we have a front view, we have to draw the top view underneath 45 degrees, and then our left view, which is what we are going to be working on for this drawing. If they ask for a right view, then obviously you'll be working from this side, but since we're using a left view, we're working from this side here. Okay, so let's just get started. First things first, what I would like for you guys to do is to actually bring all of these lines up like that. So this is at an angle of 30 degrees, as you can see, just slightly like that. And then once you have done that, you've already got your T line down. If you could please bring your 3 line, your 1 line, and your 2 line down. And then we're going to get started. Okay, so first things first, we want to figure out where our point T is going to be. So you're going to take your compass, and on this middle line here, let me highlight it so that you guys can see where I'm working. So on this middle line here, I would like you guys to put your compass on that line, just like that over there. And then you're going to see, because I want point T, I'm measuring to point T, which is over here. Okay, and then on the middle line of the lines that we've drawn over here, this sort of grid, so this line here, you're going to go to where line T is. You're going to put your compass again on the blue line, so that's the middle line. you're going to make a mark on your paper, and that mark will then be point T. Okay, then we're going to carry on. So now we're going to go from this middle line. We want to grab line or point 1. So here, grabbing point 1, going to the blue line, which is the middle, making a little arc, and that is point 1. Okay, we're going to basically do the same for the rest of them as well. So here we've got point 2. Okay, so we're going to go find the blue line, point 2, which will be over here, right on this edge here, and then so will 3, because if you measure it's the same. So this will be 2 and this will be 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly connect all of our shapes together, all of our dots together, so we can get our prism. So there, like that, 2, 3 and 1 connect together because they're obviously the base of the pyramid. And then we are going to go T. Okay, 3 and T will connect as well. Let me just think about it. Will it be T and 3? It will be T and 3. Okay, so there is going to be hidden detail, but I will explain that to you in a second. So for now, just make sure everything's a light line, and then we will discuss how you're going to get your hidden detail, etc. now. So imagine, because now we're drawing the sectional top view, imagine that you are a man standing on top of this shape looking down. It is very obvious that based on what this man is seeing, he is going to see T2. So T2 is this line here. Okay, so now we know, okay, he's going to be seeing T2. He's going to see part of T3, but not a lot of it. Okay, so if I just had to quickly kind of explain it, is this line here would be the dash line, because you would also see 2, 1 and 1T. But before we discuss that further, let's actually cut it so that you can get sort of an idea of how we do that. So first things first, we're going to go at the first point of our prism pyramid over here. Okay, do you see it cuts line T3? So here you're going to find line T3, which is this line here. You're going to make a little mark. Then you're going to move on. You see it cuts line T1. This is why we label, so it makes it easier. T1 is over there, so we're going to make a mark. Then it cuts here by T2. So what we're going to do is we're going to find T2. We're going to make a mark. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to connect all of your points together. I'm going to do it in purple so that you can see the cut nicely. So we've got that point over there connecting, and then that point over there connecting. Okay, one thing you do need to remember is that every time you cut, you do have to section. Your section line should be lighter than your construction lines, and you always hatch at 45 degrees using your ruler. Do not do it freehand like me. Okay, but now that this piece here is getting cut off, okay, we know that we're not going to see this top point at all because it's now cut off. But we are going to see this part of T1 that has not been cut off. So we'll see that part over there. Okay. We will see T1, 2, we will see. Okay. We will see part of 2T, which is this line here. Okay. That's this line here that we are seeing. Okay. And then we know that we will see 2, 3 because it does not get cut. So there we're going to make a line. And then we know that we're going to see part of 3T from where it does not get cut. Okay, so basically what we have is this sort of shape over here. It kind of looks a bit weird because of the way I sectioned it, so it's quite a small section, but anyways. And then here will be a dash line because we're obviously not going to see this over here. If you're struggling with the views of this, the previous video I made for grade 10s on the page does not have sectioning, but it does help you to kind of see the views. So if you need help with that, that's my recommendation. So go watch that video. Okay, now we obviously want to get the sectional left view. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring point T across. So here we have point T. Then we have point 2, which we're going to bring across lightly as well. Don't make any of these super dark lines. Then we've got point 1 that we're going to bring across as well. And then we've obviously got point 3 as well. Okay, so now it's going to be quite easy. We're going to start off just by drawing the prism before we cut it again. So one thing to keep in mind is because you're doing a sectional left view, imagine your man is now standing on the left. What is he seeing? Okay, So let's quickly bring all of our lines across and then we'll discuss that. So T will go here onto your 45-degree line. You're going to bring it up onto the T line. So that will be T. Then we've got 3, which will end up on this line here actually. So let's find point 3. That's point 3 over there. Okay. Point 2 is also on that line. So we have to find point 2. So 2 will be over there. And then 1 we obviously have to use our ruler for. So we're going to take point 1 across like that. We're going to bring it across onto line 1 over there. And there we've got our points for our pyramid. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect all of these lines lightly together quickly. And the reason how I know, or the reason why I know which points to connect together is based on this view here. So do you see that this prism is at a bit of an angle? So if you're staying on the left looking at it, you're going to see the base of the pyramid. So that's the base over there. And you're also going to see line T2 and line T1, which is exactly what you're seeing over there. So I hope you can visualize it. If you are struggling, please let me know, guys, because I've got friends that I can obviously talk to. If they can make me like a development that I can put as a video for you guys to see what I'm talking about, then I'll do it for you guys. But if I don't think you're struggling, I'm not going to do that. So if you do need help with that, just let me know. Okay, so there we've got our shape, and then obviously we know that the hidden detail line will obviously be this line here, because we're not going to see that at the back of the shape over there. Okay, now we obviously want to section it, so you could either take these points up here onto the corresponding lines, or you could go across like this. So here we know T3 gets cut, so 3 is at the bottom, so there's going to be a line over there. We know T1 gets cut, so there's going to be T1. And then we also know that T2 gets cut and T2 gets cut over there. So do you see why it's quite a different shape now? It's actually quite smaller, but that's because when you're looking at things from a certain angle, the shape sort of changes. Okay, so I'm going to again just go over this in purple so that you can see what we are looking at. That's our cuts, and then obviously use your ruler and hatch in 45 degrees, and then the rest of the shape will be like this over here. So basically you're not going to see the top bit because, again, as we've said, it gets cut off, but you will see the bottom bit. And then don't forget to dash the line that you at the back. Okay, the dash line used to be lighter than your solid lines. Okay, so I hope this kind of helped you guys to understand a little bit of what solid geometry is about. Again, if there's anything you would like me to do differently, let me know, because we're all here to learn and I want to make your learning experience a lot easier for you guys. So if you guys need help with something or need me to do something differently, I'm happy to do that. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will be in the next video for you guys, descriptive geometry.